Someone recently said that if John Major stopped trying to be posh, he'd talk like tonight's studio guest.
The voice of John Major plays the meanest, swamp-drenched, gut-bucket, jelly-roll piano this side of Chingford. He's in love with a lady, Lady Christabel Durham, and he once got in trouble for saying the wrong word at the wrong time on the wrong channel.
He's ex-squeeze, ex-tube, ex-groovy fella, ex-jukebox jury, Jools Holland, and he wears very stylish suits. But today he's in crimpline, sadly.
And I've got a bit of a cough.
And he's got a bit of a cough, yeah.
A bit of a bronchial problem, really.
Yeah, it's
and I hurt my thumb as well.
It's nice of you to come in as you're getting the war so bad.
Yes, thank you for inquiring about me.
What are you advertising, cough medicine or something?
No! I should be.
Ooh, steady.
I know, but I've come in anyway.
Cut down on those cigarettes.
I don't smoke anymore. I stopped because of my cough.
Did you?
I had to, yeah.
And is that why you didn't get dressed up for us today as well, Jools?
Well, because I've come straight from my bed, really, yes. My sicky lair.
Now, when you were singing on The Happening with Misha Paris, you sang, "Hit the road, Jack." I felt it started a little bit high for you, Jools.
Well, I'm not what you call a singer. Misha Paris is. She's got a brilliant voice, but I'm what you call a vocalist, I suppose. No, not a vocalist. I just croak my way through, but as long as the piano's loud, it doesn't matter, really. Because and you sort of get the gist of it. So, keys and that never really bothered me. I think it's more when you get a proper singer like Misha Paris, that's the keys are more for people like them to worry about, really.
I felt for you momentarily, did you, Anne?
Sadly didn't see it.
No.
No.
Well, you've missed out probably on the best thing that probably could have happened to you ever. But don't feel disappointed or left out.
Tell us how you started on the tube.
Well, I started on the tube. Can I tell you about this instead?
Yeah,
because it's a bit long, me starting on the tube.
Is it
long.
really
It's a long
boring?
time ago. It is pretty boring,
Right.
and it is pretty boring. It's a long time ago.
Jools, tell us about this.
Yeah, tell
thanks.
us about this on the
somebody
table.
handed me this. I came in. They said, "Are you familiar with these?" And it so happened I was, because when I was last on tour with Squeeze, so I don't play anymore at the moment, but when I was last on tour with them, I had one of these, and I used to carry it around with me. And if we were in airports or somewhere like that, or anywhere there was sort of queues of people, coach stations, often, yes, that's right, minicab offices, as you are when you're touring throughout the northern United States there. And I'd be in the old cab office there, and I'd just do this sort of thing.
Is that your mobile? Yes.
It's good, isn't it? That's
Very good. You had us going.
Yeah.
Caught us again. Oh, no.
Hello. Very good, wasn't it?
Hello.
Yeah. Hours of fun.
Yeah, what else can you do on it?
Well, I can get the odd tune out of it, but that's not so much so.
Can you play the theme tune to Follyfoot?
Follyfoot, let me think.
Grow, grow the lightning.
Yeah, I know that song. No, you need lots of people to sing that, don't you?
Can you give us a quick burst of your single on that? We'll do the Sam Brown part.
Not the Sam Brown part. Hang on. Well, I wonder if it's possible.
I'm Henry VIII, I am.
That's what they say in America to you, you know. It's your English singers are so, oh, I'm Henry VIII for him. And
Sam Brown, not Joe Brown.
No, that's his daughter. She's
A tenuous link there, but I hope they keep it in.
You're quite multi-talented, I think, is a word that we would use for you. Rock musician, TV presenter, a raconteur about town.
Sound effects, dispenser.
FX, yes. Which do you prefer? And where do you think you're going?
Where
after this?
After this? Well, I'm going to go on tour after this, with this, just around the cab offices. In fact, I found it went so well that I've got a band together and we go to halls now, and cab drivers' functions and weddings and whatever.
Very good.
And so I suppose, yes, I'm up at...
But not with Squeeze, this isn't with Squeeze?
No, this is with my own band I'm going to go. If you went spiritually, where was I going, in a more broader direction, then I think it's probably a difficult question to answer that, so I'd stick with the immediate tour that I'm going off on. And I'm going all over Britain, I'm going. And hopefully the band are going to be with me at each date.
What's the name of the band?
They're just my band, really. I have a different name for them each evening. For instance, if it were tonight, I'd probably call them the POBs, as we've been talking about taxis, because they say that.
Passenger on board?
Yeah, POB.
Very good.
But tomorrow night there'll be something else different again.
So what sort of stuff are you going to be playing on your tour?
Well, it's like a queer mix of rhythm and blues, a little bit of ska music, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of country and western.
Quick burst, maybe?
all of that,
Yeah.
all of that embodied in one thing. I suppose a quick burst would be.
We've paid 10 quid to get this in, you see, so we might as well
Have
use
you?
it.
Oh right, okay then.
no
I can't
expense
think.
bed.
I can't think what. I think that was none of those, was it, really?
No, but it was very lovely.
Oh, thank you.
And I did my own version of sort of scat singing while you were doing it.
Yeah, and why not?
Well, good luck with the tour.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you
And,
for having me.
of
I
course-
like your desk. And
Thank
I
you
like,
very
what was it you
much.
showed me how you do the neatness at the end? Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Thank you.
And when it goes into silhouette, they pretend to speak to one another, don't they?
Yeah.
They?
Not. I don't mean. I mean people when they have shows like that.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Proper people, grown up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Do it,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Yes.
not
I wasn't implying for a moment that you weren't, or I wasn't one of them with you.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye.
On last Friday's show, we helped celebrate the 20th.
Others believe.
By the time the right one's grandchildren
Their favourite Star Trek characters and attend conferences. And
Mania can go too far.
6:30something brings you this tragic report from Airhead, USA.
Mr. Spock, what are you doing on this frequency?
James Commissar collects old props and costumes from Star Trek and other TV shows and films. His flat is so full of them he can no longer even have ordinary furniture.
To go out and find them is a tremendous, tremendous search. But when you bring home the goods, like Chad Everett's scrubs from Medical Center, or Buckwheat's original costume, it's worth the hundreds of hours that it will often take to bring in one item.
James holds down a job as a comedy writer, but spends much of his time posing for photographs with celebrities whom he pesters for cast-off artifacts.
Listen, we've got to get that Homie the Clown costume from In Living Color. Yeah.
An obsessive hoarder of old post-it notes, James includes in his costume collection such treasures as Endora's nightgown from Bewitched and the one Ava Gabor wore in Green Acres. He has costumes from Laverne and Shirley, MASH and I Dream of Jeannie. This is the original I Dream of Jeannie bottle.
The priceless dust. I paid $5,000 from Christie's for the Bat Shield. To me, that's a tremendous bargain because it's a one-of-a-kind piece of history.
James keeps this coat so nice because it was worn by one of the characters in the Addams Family, which is among James' favourite shows.
Who wouldn't want to own the shroud that Uncle Fester wore on the Addams Family? We all grew up on it. I'm just crazy enough to track this stuff down and get it.
And apparently just $10,000 could send James to a special hospital where he'd receive the very best care and attention available.
The lines are open, so keep those pledges coming in.
Big-boned bombshell Brigitte Nielsen hit the headlines yet again.
Brigitte's still more famous for her earlier marriage to Sylvester Stallone than for any of her films.
Brigitte has worked hard to make the most of her statuesque charms. Not without reason has her cleavage been dubbed Silicon Valley.
But this being a serious-minded programme that does not peddle tittle-tattle. We asked Brigitte about her development as an actress and her new film, an art movie with a message for us all, entitled She-Hulk.
Busy Brenda Romana spent a day with her at this year's Cannes Film Festival. Don't you know?
Cannes is all about selling, talking up a film until enough people are convinced it's going to be great. There's a lot of eating, drinking and posing too. Brigitte had laid on this bash so the press could do a bit of everything.
Are you conscious of your image? Are you conscious of the type of woman you want to portray? I feel I'm pretty upfront and quite honest with most of the things. And I think it's just the way you carry yourself and how you explain things. You cannot change that much. You're worried about how you look and how you make an effort at explaining to people what you really feel, but you don't really change that much. It's not like a character walking into a set and all of a sudden you're on screen and you're a different person, because if you do that, they'll never understand you and it won't work.
British audiences best remember Brigitte from Red Sonja, where she exploited her extraordinary physique. She's also had parts in Rocky IV and Beverly Hills Cop 2, but they weren't the parts you'd best remember from Red Sonja.
I have, I think, a very dominating physical presence. That's sort of the scripts that I get will always be very physical roles. However, I do wish to show a side of me that's maybe more humorous and more funny, do a romantic comedy or something like that. still using the physical presence, but more making fun of it, laughing about how tall I am or how I look, and maybe having a relationship with a short little fella who's very intelligent and really cute, and they sort of have this love-fun relationship, instead of maybe having a gun in my hand or jump from one place to another. But I think it's something you're going to have to take step by step, because people do see me doing these characters that are basically very physical.
And clearly, She-Hulk, the Incredible Hulk in female form, is another sensitive part for Brigitte. She still remains better known for her private life than anything else. Her relationship with Sylvester Stallone saw to that. Since a bitter divorce, the press haven't given her much peace.
So what's your opinion of a number of journalists who pay as much attention to your private life as they do to your own personal career? How do you feel about that? I don't really know how they can pay attention to my private life. I don't think anybody really knows. They try to, and they think they make up a lot of stories. I think the reason why we call it the private life because it's private, and I like to keep it that way because that's the only time where I have time for my family and my friends, and I don't want to exploit that to the whole world. That's the time for me that I celebrate.
So can you give us an idea of what it's actually like being constantly followed by people, constantly followed by cameras?
People that just walk by and see a bunch of photographers taking pictures of me, it looks very glamorous, it looks very exciting. However, if it's 24 hours and every day, it can be a pain in the butt.
You can't go on playing with them, they just explode. Oh. That's the end of Wednesday.
On Friday, we're honoured to be able to bring you an almost royal edition of 6:30-something.
We'll be at a royal premiere with Julie Walters, Liza Minnelli and Princess Di.
And we'll be clubbing with Roland Rivron, the man about whom the Duke of Edinburgh said, who?
That's on Friday.
See you then.
It'll be us. It'll be us doing it. It'll be
I know,
Joanna
with Joanna.
and Brenda
And I wanted to wear my new
Do we
jumper.
have legs? Do we ever get outside here? Do we have legs? No. Who's the producer on this show?
Is there one?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is one.